Right, so now we've got an 8-mark question, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-mark question to complete this cash flow forecast for Pet Boutique. So let's now just get that done. Just be aware, wherever you see these 1-mark depictions, that's where you've got to make sure in that given row that you are then entering some information. So it'd be really, really easy to miss this one out and just lose out on a mark for not actually putting down what that is. Now, of course, that would be total income or total inflows that the business is generating. So let's do that first up. So there it is, total income. So that's 1 mark done so far. Let's then run through each of these in turn. So again, if you want to pause the video and have a go at this in your own time, go for it. So first up, we've got the opening balance. Now, to calculate our opening balance, well, we can see that we've got the closing balance and we've got the net cash flow position. Now, the net cash flow has meant that the closing balance will now be £582 lower than how the business opened the month previously. So if we then add that £582 back onto that closing balance, well, that would tell us where the business was, and so that would translate to £2,140 there. Then we come into our second month here, February. We can see we've got 950 plus something else equals total income of how much? Well, of course, that's therefore got to be the missing differential between 950 and 1,150. So that's got to be 200. So then we can have a look at total expenditure. Well, how do we get that? All we've got to do really is just add up each of these areas of expenditure. So let's now do that. So as we add through here, what do we get? We get 2,462. Then we can calculate a net cash flow position. So then we've got to consider the total income minus the total expenditure, and that gives us our net cash flow position. So this would then come in for this given month minus £1,312. And we can see that that's that negative figure really does reduce the closing bank position for the business. Okay, now in March, well, we don't seem to have any figures to actually complete there, but we've got 3 in April to do. So we can see that we're missing a figure here with regard to the actual stock or inventories position for the business. So that will simply be the missing amount after you've added these elements together. Okay, so we can see that the total expenditure comes to 3,937. So if you just subtract from that 3,937 1,450, subtract again 1,280, and again 80, well, that should give you an answer of what, 1,127. Now, finally, or penultimately rather, we've got the net cash flow position. So we've got our income minus our expenditure, and what's that then going to be? So 2,940 minus that 3,937. Well, that is going to lead to what? Negative 997, and we can see that now the business is actually going to attain a closing balance position of 804. Great stuff, guys. Let's move it along.